Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright then, let's get started. Pressing the A button now.
Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days.
Loading game and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Lyrical Monasterio's Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa, D-LBT02. And I'm going to be using this Lyrical Monasterio's Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa, D-LBT01 deck as the base of the deck I'm going to build. Okie dokie, let's get started. So going to edit deck and entering edit deck. Off we go. Here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Lyrical Monasterio's Earnescorrect leader Clarissa deck, made of cards only available up until D-LBT02. So first, let's go to the filter settings and to pack, show only cards from D-LBT01 Lyrical Melody and D-LBT02 is a new school term, and applying filter. Let's get started. So first, the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3s of this deck, we're using right deck, grade 3, Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle by riding on accurate interval Clarissa, cost, counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, search your deck for up to 1, aim to be the strongest idol. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And second skill, auto, as a Vanguard. When this unit attack hits, draw a card, choose one of your rear guards with Earnescorrect in its card name, and it gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Clarissa, she's the main grade 3 to run this deck. For skills, the first skill, just by riding her on top of accurate interval Clarissa, you'll be able to add a aim to be the strongest idol, which is one of the main order cards to play in the Clarissa deck, to your hand to be ready to use for later. And the second skill, just by landing a successful attack on either the opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, your Vanguard Clarissa can then give one of your rear guards more power, thus allowing you the chance to pressure or potentially finish off the opponent with the increased amount of power to your rear guard. So for Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, we got 4 in the deck, 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 3 normal order, aim to be the strongest idol. Skills, order, plays if you have 5 or more units of Earnescorrect in their different card names. Until end of turn, all of your units of Earnescorrect in their card names get plus 5,000 power. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your Earnescorrect leader Clarissa and it gets continuous Vanguard. When this unit will attack, choose 3 of your opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, and this unit battles all of the units chosen on the chosen circles. So for aim to be the strongest idol, it's the main order card to play in the Clarissa deck with its skill. As long as you meet the conditions, not only can you give your entire field plus 5,000 power, but your Vanguard Clarissa can attack multiple targets in a row, both Vanguard and rear guard, thus securing you multiple attacks to not only deal damage to the Vanguard, but to also wipe out your opponent's rear guards, and to also activate Clarissa's skill, which lets her add power for every successful attack. So for aim to be the strongest idol, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. And now for the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s of this deck, we're playing right deck, grade 2, accurate interval, Clarissa. Skills, for skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle by riding on serious challenger Clarissa, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card of Earnescorrect in its card name from among them, reveal it, put into your hand, shuffle the rest, and put them into the bottom of your deck. And the second skill, continuous as a Vanguard. During your turn, if you have no rear guards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for accurate interval Clarissa, it's the main grade 2 to ride this deck. With its skills, the first skill, when you ride your grade 2 Clarissa on top of serious challenger Clarissa, as long as you can pay the cost, you can more or less add any grade 2 or less Earnescorrect to potentially call or boost or simply hold on to your hand for your later game strategy. And the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, your Vanguard accurate interval Clarissa can serve as a potential 15,000 point attacker all on her own. So for accurate interval Clarissa, we got 1 in the deck, in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, The Grade 2 Earnescorrect member Evelyn. Skill Auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle from hand, if your Vanguard is Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, cost counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, search your deck for up to one Grade 2 or less card of Earnescorrect in its card name and reveal it. And if you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as that card, call to an open rearguard circle, shuffle your deck. So for Evelyn, she's a support card for the Clarissa deck. Her skill, as long as the conditions and costs are met, you have the chance to search your deck for a Grade 2 or less Earnescorrect to potentially call, attack, boost with, or use its skill for later game strategy. And so for Earnescorrect member Evelyn, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Earnescorrect member Catalin. Skill Auto as a rearguard. When the attack of the Earnescorrect leader Clarissa on your Vanguard hits, cost counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. If the cost and paid, restand this unit. So for Catalin, she's another support card for the Clarissa deck. For a skill, as long as your Vanguard Earnescorrect leader Clarissa lands an attack on either your opponent's Vanguard or rearguard, as long as you're willing to pay the cost, you'll be able to get your Catalin to pressure your opponent with another attack to give you the chance to either wear down the defenses or to actually finish them off. So for Earnescorrect member Catalin, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. And then the Grade 2 Loaded Sentiments Evelina. Not gonna play this card anymore, taking it out. And next we're playing, let's see, what next? Anything else we can put in the Grade 2 lineup? Here it is, the Grade 2, along with Smiles, Gizia. Skills for skill, continuous as a guardian. All of your units with Earnescorrect in their card names get plus 10,000 shield. And second skill, continuous as a guardian. All of your rear guards of Earnescorrect in their card names cannot be hit. So for Gizia, she's a little support card for the Clarissa deck. For her skills, when you use her to guard, you can activate one of 2 effects, either to give all of your Earnescorrect guardians or rear guards additional 10,000 shield to give you a better chance of blocking your opponent's attacks. And to also, her second skill, as long as she's used to guard with, she can also serve as a potential pseudo-perfect guard for protecting your Earnescorrect rear guards. So for along with Smiles Gizia, we're putting 3 into deck. 3 is enough. Alrighty, the Grade 2 lineup is done. Now let's get on to the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1 deck we're playing, Ride Deck, Grade 1, Serious Challenger Clarissa. Skills for skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle by riding on Dignified Will Clarissa, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to one Grade 1 or less card with Earnescorrect in its card name from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle the rest, put them into the bottom of your deck. Second skill, continuous as a Vanguard. During your turn, if you do not have any rear guards, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for Serious Challenger Clarissa, it's the main Grade 1 to ride this deck. For skills, the first skill, just by riding Serious Challenger on top of Dignified Will Clarissa, you have the chance to check the top 7 cards of your deck to have a Grade 1 or less Earnescorrect to either call, attack, boost, or make use of its skill later on. And the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, your Vanguard Serious Challenger Clarissa can serve as a potential 13,000 point attacker all on their own. So for Serious Challenger Clarissa, we got 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1 Earnescorrect supporter Leona. Skill, auto as a rear guard. When your other rear guard of Earnescorrect in its card name is retired during your opponent's turn, if this unit is in your rear guard, cost Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, put that retired card into your hand. So for Leona, she's another support card for the Clarissa deck. For her skill, whenever your opponents retire your rear guard Earnescorrect units, you have the chance to use Leona's skill to return those cards to your hand to potentially defend with or to call for your offense on the next turn or to make use of her skills later. So for Leona, we got 4 in the deck, taking 2 out, only playing 2. Next, the Grade 1 Determined Cheerfulness Sarka Sentinel Perfect Guard. Skills for skill, continuous Sentinel. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from hand, discard it. So for Sarka, she's another Perfect Guard for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. Like any other Perfect Guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from your hand, you can block one enemy attack. But Sarka also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Sarka a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Determined Cheerfulness Sarka, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great One, Earnescorrect Supporter Trilby, Skill, Auto as a rear guard. When your Vanguard's attack hits, this unit gets plus 5,000 power at the end of turn. So for Trilby, she's another support card for the Earnescorrect series, especially for the Clarissa deck. For her skill, as long as you land successful attacks from your Vanguard on either your opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, your Trilby will get a boost of power. And the best part is this skill is stackable. With the grade 3 Clarissa skill and the order card, you'll be able to attack multiple units at the same time. So for every successful attack your Vanguard Clarissa lands, you'll be able to make your Trilby into a very powerful front row attacker or back row booster. So for the Earnescorrect Supporter Trilby, we got 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, only playing 3. Next up, the Great One we're putting in next is a... We're putting in... into the deck. Let's see, what would be good? What would be good? A grade 1... A Great One... Tough choice. What would be a good choice to put into this deck? Here, the Great One, Definite Growth, Eugenia, Skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted a unit with the Earnescorrect in its card name. If you have a Vanguard Clarissa in its card name, cost, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit. If the cost and paid, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 or less card of Earnescorrect in its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So for Regenia, she's a support card for the Clarissa deck. For her skill, as long as you boost the attack to a Earnescorrect unit, and as long as you meet the conditions and costs, your Regenia can let you search for a Earnescorrect unit to potentially call, attack, boost, make use of its skill, or potentially persona right with, depending on what card you add to your hand of this unit's skill. So for Definite Growth Regenia, we're putting 3 into the deck. There we go. The Great One lineup is done. And now for the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0, so this deck we're playing Ride Deck, Grade 0, Dignified Will Clarissa, Skill, Auto. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Dignified Will Clarissa, she's the starter unit of this deck. Like any other starter unit in these D standard format, it features the same skill and activation. When written on top of, while you went second, you get to draw a card. So for Dignified Will Clarissa, we got 1 in the Ride deck, leaving it that way. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing the Grade 0, Grading Dragon Scale Ilse Critical Trigger. We got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 0, Aplom Sight Gret, Draw Trigger. Not going to play this card anymore, taking it out. The Grade 0, Running Start Youth Haida Front Trigger. Not going to play this card anymore, taking it out. The Grade 0, Languid Relaxation Margaret Heal Trigger. Not going to play this card anymore, taking it out. And in their places, we're putting in... We'll start with the Grade 0, Precious Tune Edwidge Critical Trigger, Skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost and paid, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Edwidge, she's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Lyrical Monasterio Nation decks. For her skill, not only can you stock up your soul for later Soul Blast, but to also give the remaining attackers in the field, Vanguard or Rear Guard, a little extra power to work with. So for Precious Tune Edwidge, we're putting 4 into the deck. And next up, we're putting in the Grade 0, Transparent Snowy Knight, Baratoy, Draw Trigger, Skill, Guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, this unit gives plus 5,000 shield. So for Baratoy, she's a powerful draw trigger to play in your Lyrical Monasterio Nation decks. For her skill, When used to guard with while the conditions are met, she can serve as a potential 10,000 point shield on her own. So for Baratoi, we're putting 3 into the deck. Okie dokie. Now we're putting in the grade 0 Sigh of Relief, Fabiola, Heal Trigger, putting 4 into the deck. And finally, the grade 0. The grade 0 Demonic Fever, Gabriella, Over Trigger, Skill, Trigger, additional effect. During this fight, you get during your turn, all of your rear guards plus 10,000 power. And so for Gabriella, she's the Over Trigger for the Lyrical Monasterio Nation. Like any other Over Trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, she features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card. But she also features an ability that's unique to her alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, for the remainder of that fight, all of your rear guards get plus 10,000 power. So ideally, Gabriella is an Over Trigger that's best revealed the earlier you started in the fight. For the earlier reveal it on a drive check on your turn, for the remainder of that fight, you'll have an easier time pressuring or finishing off your opponent with the continuous plus 10,000 power to all of your rear guards. So for Demonic Fever Gabriella, we got 1 the deck, leaving that way. And with that, the deck isn't built. Cards explain. So just save the deck, overwrite the deck being built. Yes, and for the cards in this deck we're playing 4, grade 3, Earnescorrect leader, Clarissa. 4, grade 3, aim to be the strongest idol. 4, grade 2, Earnescorrect member, Evelyn. 4, grade 2, Earnescorrect member, Cataline. 1, grade 2, accurate interval, Clarissa. 3, grade 2, along with smiles, Gizia. 2, grade 1, Earnescorrect supporter, Leona. 4, grade 1, determined cheerfulness, Sarka. 3, grade 1, Earnescorrect supporter, Trilby. 1, grade 1, serious challenger, Clarissa. 3, grade 1, definite growth, Eugenia. 1, grade 0, didn't fight Will, Clarissa, starting unit. And for the triggers of this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 1 over trigger, Gabriella. And with that, the deck's been built, cards explained. Now it's time to test the deck, so just leave the edit deck menu, returning to the main menu, off to the fight menu, and to CPU fight. Selecting the deck I just built, the Lyrical Monasterio's Earnescorrect leader Clarissa D-LBT02 deck. Selecting the deck, now choose an opponent. For the opponent I'm going to test it out on, I'm going to be using it against Masaru Kita, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Let's get started. We've arrived in the fight. We're going to decide who goes first. So, a rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock to scissors, I win, going first. Drawing our starting hands, I got a Perfect Guard, 2 criticals, a Catalin, and a Rugenia. Gonna hold on to the normal units and the Perfect Guard. Just gonna return the triggers, redraw, a draw, and a great one, not bad. Going first, I draw. I write from the right deck, Serious Challenger, Clarissa. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding 1 draw trigger, Baratoi, discard, and write Clarissa. Clarissa's skill. I'm gonna search the top 7 cards in my deck for a great one or less Earnescorrect. Looking through my deck, and Alright, there's at least one great winner. Let's Earnescorrect. I'm adding Earnescorrect supporter Trilby to my hand. Add it. And that's the end of my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's gonna ride to the Great 1, Deep Sonicer, skill Sonicer, he soul charges, a Great 2, and start a skill, he draws a card. Going straight to battle phase, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, no guard, gonna take it. Drive check, no trigger, ah no, he can Persona ride. Ow, damage check, ah, critical, I wasted a trigger, come on. Trigger effects wasted. Not good, a really poor start. And my opponent's turn, it's my turn. I draw, I ride from the right deck, accurate interval Clarissa. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding another draw trigger, Baratoi, discard, and ride Clarissa. Clarissa's skill, I Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, and look at the top 7 cards in my deck for a grade 2 or less Earnescorrect. I'm adding to my hands, let's see, what should I have? I'm adding the Grade 2 Earnescorrect member Evelyn to my hand. Add it. And now I'm calling the Grade 2 Earnescorrect member Evelyn to the rear guard. I call. And I'm calling to the rear guard, Earnescorrect supporter Leona. No, wait, I'm calling to the rear guard, Earnescorrect supporter Trilby. Call. And, that should do it. Nope, I'm gonna call Definite Growth Regina to the rear guard, and calling Leona to the rear guard. Call. Now it's enough. Going to battle phase. First, Leona attacks the Vanguard. 8,000 power. The attack goes through. And boom! 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger. Safe. And now, boosted by Rugenia, Clarissa attacks the Vanguard. 18,000 power. 1 drive. The attack goes through. Drive check. No trigger. Grade 2. So just 1 damage. And the boom! Another damage. No trigger, safe. Now Trilby's skill. After a successful Vanguard attack, she gets plus 10,000, 5,000 power. So she's now at 10,000. And now, wait, at the end of the battle, this boosts a unit of Earnescorrectness card name. Nope, not yet. So, boosted by Trilby, Catalan attacks the Vanguard, 20,000 power. My opponent guards with a heal trigger, 23,000. The attack fails, and he blocks it. So that's the end of my turn. It's my opponent's turn. My opponent's gonna ride to the Grade 2 Electro Spartan. He calls Selfish Engraver and Kigra to the rear guards. Alrighty, this is a tough choice, so I can't afford to let Engraver attack, since its successful attack will lead to a soul charge and let his Barrel Madness get more options. So I'm gonna guard the first attack with the Grade 2 Evelyn. Guard, 15,000 power. The attack is blocked, and ka-chink! Attack blocks. Now here comes a Vanguard attack, 10,000 to 10,000. Gonna take it, no guard. He drive checks. No! Critical trigger this timing! Crit to Van and power to Kigra, so 2 damage. Ugh. Damage check first. No trigger. And a second check. Come on, something good. Critical trigger, better than nothing, so I give all effects to my Vanguard. There we go. Now 20,000 of Vanguard. I guard with a critical trigger. Guard 35,000. The attack is blocked. A ka-chink. Safe. That's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. I'm gonna ride from the right deck. Earnescorrect leader Clarissa. For the right deck cost, I'm discarding Earnescorrect member Evelyn discard, and right. Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, ride! Clarissa's skill, Counter Blast 1, Counter Blast, search my deck for the order card, aim to be the strongest idol, add to hand, and I send Leona to the back, and I'm gonna call Gizia to the front. Call! Now activate the... Nope, all 5 cards have to be Earnescorrect, so I can't use my... Since Rugenia is not an Earnescorrect, I can't use the order card yet, so just gonna go straight to the battle phase. First, boosted by Leonia, my Gizia attacks the rear guard, Selfish Engraver, 18,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 rear guard down, 1 less to worry about. Now boosted by Rugenia, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 21,000 power. The attack goes through, and Twin Drive, first check. Another Rugenia, and a second check. A grade 2, Earnescorrect. Now it needs the order card next turn, so 1 damage to my opponent. Light rains down, Spotlight, and bam! 1 damage. Damage check, no trigger, safe. I'm activating the effect of Trilby. Plus 5,000 power. I'm not gonna... Then I'm gonna activate the effect of my Clarissa. When the attack hits, a rear guard in my field gets plus 5,000 power. I give it to Catalan. I got Gizia. Alright, then not gonna activate Catalan's skill. And then I'm gonna activate Rugenia's skill. Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, retreat her, retreat. Good. Thank you, Rugenia. I search my deck for a grade 3 or less Earnescorrect. I'm adding the grade 3 Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, a Persona Ride. Add to hand. And now here comes an attack boosted by Trilby. Catalan attacks the Vanguard, 25,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 more damage. Damage check. Barrel Magnus, no trigger, 1 damage, and 1 less card to Persona Ride with. End of turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent's riding his main card, the grade 3, Master of Gravity, Barrel Magnus. Spartan skill, he adds cards to Soul and calls to the rear guard. In his Soul, he Soul Charge, a draw trigger in the grade 2. Power added, that's 28,000, so let's see, what should I guard with? Should I need at least 20,000 to block this attack. His Vanguard only has 6 cards in Soul, he won't get criticals. I'm already up to 3 damage, so okay, gonna let this attack go through and just block the Vanguard, so no guard, taking a hit. Ow! Damage check. Alright, critical trigger. All effects to my Vanguard. All effects added. Now here comes the attack from the Vanguard. 13,000 to 23,000. And should I guard or perfect guard? If I guard with Gizia, she'll be a 15,000 point shield, 38,000, so I'm gonna guard with along with Smiles. No, I'm intercepting with along with Smiles Gizia, intercepts, and plus shield and guarding with another Gizia, guard, 33,000, so that's 2 to pass. First check, no trigger, and the second check, no trigger, safe, so the attack does not go through, and ka-chink, attack is blocked, I'm safe. That's the end of my opponent's turn, it's my turn. I stand and draw. I Persona Ride, Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, Persona Ride. Draw a card, power added. I'm now gonna call to the rear guard Earnescorrect member Evelyn, and call. Evelyn's skill, I counterblast 1, counter blast. Search my deck for grade 2 or less Earnescorrect. I can only reveal the card, can't if I don't have the same card name. I can only reveal it and just shuffle, so that's a waste of a skill. Just revealing Trilby. Shuffle deck. Now I'm calling Rugenia to the rear guard. Wait, hold on. And I'm gonna call Rugenia to the rear guard, call and play the order card, aim to be the strongest idol. All my Earnescorrect units give us 5,000 power, and my Vanguard can now attack 3 units in a row, so let's get on to the battle phase. Boosted by Rugenia, Clarissa attacks the Vanguard, and the 2 rear guards. Total all units, 36,000 power. Triple guard, 48,000, and twin drive, first check, heal trigger, nice! I heal 1 damage, healing 1, and giving power to Catalan. All effects added, and second check, no trigger, perfect guard. So the attack fails, and all rear guards wiped out. And now activating the effect of Trilby for every successful attack, plus 5,000 power. Another 5,000 power to Trilby. And now Clarissa's skill plus 5,000 power to Catalan. And one more time. Clarissa's skill plus power to Catalan. And not gonna activate Catalan's skill, so I'm activating Regina's skill next. I Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, retreat her, retreat. Thank you, Regina. Searching my deck for a grade 3 or less Earnescorrect. I'm adding Earnescorrect leader Clarissa for Persona Riding, adding to hand, and now boosted by Leonia. Evelyn attacks the Vanguard, 36,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 damage check. Grade 3, no trigger, safe. Now boosted by Trilby, Catalan attacks the Vanguard, 65,000 power. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 damage check. No trigger, 6 damage, I win! That was a pretty rough fight. So, let's see, I got win, attack 60,000 more power, did a Persona Ride, 6 turns pass, retired 5 more opposing units, and drew 3 or more times in 1 turn. I got 1850 PP, total 102,925 PP. Pressing A to go next. Not too bad of a fight. I got to more or less play the cards effectively and got to try the new cards. So leaving the fight menu, return to main menu, on to edit deck menu, and with that, the deck's inbuilt, cards explained, and I just finished testing out the deck in front of you. And so first I want to say is thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye and